I just discovered that my private conversations with ChatGPT, Gemini, and Grok were being read by total strangers, legally. And if you use AI as much as I do, your secrets are almost certainly leaking the same way, right now. But this leak you can stop completely. And I'll show you exactly how. Welcome to Connecting the Dots, the channel where we follow the breadcrumbs to predict where disruptions will take us. AI is entering every aspect of our lives. We consult it like a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist, and a friend. Some even confess to it like a priest. We share with it our most personal data and get so much in return. But what if I showed you that while you're having these intimate one-on-ones with AI, obscure third-party companies are eavesdropping at the window? They're reading every word, saving it, and openly stating they intend to package and sell your secrets. Even if you delete the chat, they already have the data, so anything you said can, and possibly will, be used against you. The good news? Once I understood the leak, sealing it took a few minutes, so here's what we'll do. First, I'll show how the leak works, and how to check if your chats are exposed. Chances are that they are. Second, a free permanent fix. Third, how to go after the data that already escaped. If you want this information to reach more people, hitting that like button right now is the fastest way to help. Now let's find out if you're affected. A little housekeeping. I'll mostly say ChatGPT today, but everything I say also applies to Gemini, Claude, Grok, Perplexity, and any other AI you talk to through a screen. So first, the leak I found has nothing to do with OpenAI or Google. Your prompts travel to their servers encrypted. The leak isn't on their side of the glass, it's on yours. Also, if you strictly use their official mobile or dedicated desktop apps, you're fine. These native applications operate in a sandbox, but most people access AI through web browsers, and that browser tab is where the leak lives. I'll demonstrate this using Chrome on Windows, but I'll flash any differences for Mac and other browsers on screen. To check if you're exposed, click the puzzle piece icon in the top right corner and select Manage Extensions. There they are. Some you actively use, some you haven't touched in years. Let's see what they can actually do. I'll click Details on the first one, career.io, an extension that helps fill out job applications. Its site access is set to On All Sites. That means it can read and even modify every page this browser visits, including ChatGPT. For me, that's already game over, but let's dig deeper, because this one is fascinating. Going to its store page, and it carries the official privacy badge, data not being sold to third parties. Except that badge is self-reported. The store prints whatever the developer declares. So here's their actual privacy policy. They may sell your personal data to data brokers and analytics companies for profiling. The badge says no. The policy says yes. A few years ago, my advice would have been simple. Dump the bad actors and move on. But what was true in the pre-ChatGPT era is no longer true today. There's a huge difference between harvesting the sites you visit and even your location, and harvesting the personal data you share with AI. The whole world may know that you visited ChatGPT. Extensions are how someone learns what you told it, and what you told it is the most concentrated archive of secrets you've ever produced. Things you wouldn't say to your best friend, typed out in full sentences, with names, numbers, and context. Whenever you open ChatGPT in a tab, all active extensions are in the room. They see every word you type or speak and every answer that comes back. Your medical symptoms, your proprietary code, your 2 a.m. confession, and if you use a Mac, don't think Safari protects you. Safari explicitly warns you that extensions like Honey and Grammarly can read sensitive information, including passwords. And before you assume the fix is sticking to brands you trust, take Honey, PayPal's coupon extension. Excellent privacy policy. Genuinely doesn't sell your data. Irrelevant. There are no shopping carts on ChatGPT, so nothing for it to do there. And even if there were, no one, saint or sinner, gets to sit in the room while I chat with the AI. And this isn't theory. Avast, a massive cybersecurity company, was caught and fined $16.5 million for selling users complete browsing histories through its extensions. Now it's your turn. Scroll your own list. Every extension marked on all sites can read your chats. For each such extension, ask yourself, do I want to give these guys unlimited access to all my AI chats? If you answered no a single time, this means your chats are exposed. Answer more than once, and you have a real problem that needs to be solved. The good news is that this leak you can shut, completely, permanently. for free. The newest, deepest hole in your privacy is one you can close for good. One solution would be to delete all your extensions. But let's be honest, that's not going to happen. And even if it did, it wouldn't last. We need to talk to ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Grok without the audience. A structural fix that eliminates human error without adding friction every time you open the AI. Here's exactly how it's done. The logic writes itself. Extensions live in the browser, so your conversations have to live where extensions can't follow. Incognito mode isn't the answer. Although by default it doesn't have extensions, it forces you to log in every single time. That's friction, and friction is the enemy. Let's build something better. The first fix is the zero-effort route. Use native desktop apps exclusively. ChatGPT, Claude, and Perplexity have them for Mac and Windows. Gemini has an app for Mac on Apple Silicon. You'll find installation links in the video description. Install the app, pin it to your taskbar, and adopt one rule. Conversations happen in the app, never in a tab. The tab is the leak. But if you use Grok or Gemini on Windows, or you just prefer a browser environment, you need fix number 2, the clean room. It takes 3 steps and 5 minutes. Do it once. Step 1. Install a second browser dedicated entirely to AI. I've done the homework. Ungoogled Chromium is the absolute cleanest, but only for hands-on users, since it doesn't update itself. Brave has phenomenal privacy out of the box and is the pick for most people. And Vivaldi is built to strict European privacy standards. And before the comments ask, Opera fails on ownership and bloat, and Firefox can't do the trick we need. Pick one you don't currently use. Links in the description. Download it and click through the welcome screens. Import nothing. And the golden rule, this browser gets 0 extensions, not even an ad blocker. Its emptiness is the point. Step 2. Open the new browser, log into ChatGPT, Gemini, or Grok, and check Keep Me Logged In. Step 3. Once you're logged into the chat, we can turn this page into a standalone app. Look for the small install icon at the right end of the address bar, or open the browser menu and find Install Page as App. Repeat steps 2 and 3 for every AI you use. 30 seconds per AI and you're done. Look at that, its own icon. No tabs, no address bar, no puzzle pieces. You just built the desktop app XAI never shipped. No extensions can eavesdrop because there's nowhere for them to live. Mac users, same rule. Download Brave or Vivaldi for Mac and follow the exact same steps. That's the structural fix. From this moment on, nobody is eavesdropping at the window. From this moment on, that phrase should bother you, because everything you typed or spoke before today, your medical symptoms, your proprietary code, the 2 a.m. sessions, some of it is already out there in the wild. And deleting your chat history only deletes your copy, not theirs. So let's go hunting. There is no sugarcoating this. The leak we just sealed is the worst tap, but it was never the only one. Worse because this leak carries your most sensitive data, including things so private you don't even share them with your friends. The other leaks mostly trade in your whereabouts, but the other leaks exist. In the US and other countries, your internet provider is legally allowed to log and monetize your browsing. And it's not just your internet provider. Websites constantly track you, apps phone home, and corporate breaches constantly dump databases into the wild. In fact, the Identity Theft Resource Center reports the number of breach victims more than tripled in a single year. It all drains into the exact same reservoir: data brokers, hundreds of shadow companies whose entire business is buying fragments of you, stitching them into one profile with your name on it. They then sell your profile to whoever's willing to pay, marketers trying to push you things, people search sites publishing your details online, insurers buying determinants of health to price your risk, and identity theft and phishing scammers. Remember those trusted marketing partners from Chapter 1? You're looking at them. Privacy laws give you the right to demand deletion, but doing it yourself means finding hundreds of brokers, filling out buried forms, mailing ID copies, and repeating it every 6 months when they quietly relist you. It's an unpaid, endless part-time job. A few services do this professionally. I use Incogni. I joined them 2 years ago, long before finding the AI leak. Because this video is about data leaks, I reached out to them. So yes, this segment is sponsored by Incogni. Here is how it works. Authorize it once, and Incogni starts firing legally grounded removal requests at hundreds of data brokers. It tracks who complied, chases who ignored it, and keeps rescanning. Because data collection is a subscription, removal has to be 1 too. Looking at my dashboard, 2 years in, 901 removal requests sent, 869 completed, and the rest are actively monitored. Every one of those was a form I never filled out, and an ID I never had to mail. Remember that unpaid part-time job? Here's my timesheet, 651 hours saved. That's 4 months of full-time work, outsourced. And for whatever automation doesn't catch, their unlimited plan lets you send them a link, and a privacy expert takes it down for you. Nobody can guarantee to delete a specific chat transcript that leaked last year. What Incogni does is drain the reservoir that data feeds into. And it's the only service independently verified by Deloitte to confirm these removals actually happen. Verified, not vibes. Using code CTDOTS at incogni.com/CTDOTS, first link in the description, gets you an exclusive 60% off the annual plan, backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. It cleans up yesterday and it supports this channel. Thanks to Incogni for sponsoring this segment. Now let's put it all together. 30 seconds to check your extensions, 5 minutes to build a clean room browser and seal the leak, and a data removal service. I use Incogni, hunting down what already escaped. Your AI conversations were always supposed to be between you and the machine. Follow the steps, and now they are. I really hope this video helps, and if it did, help it back. Clicking the like button genuinely moves the needle. And think for a second, who do you know that tells ChatGPT everything? Send them this video, they'll find out what leaked from their chats, and they'll know who watched their back. As for that massive project I paused to make this video, it's Tesla related, it's almost ready, and you want to be subscribed with the bell on when it lands. Until then, you may find these videos interesting. First, how Ford and Toyota are betting the farm on the same Hail Mary, building cars in a way nothing on the road shares, except Tesla's Cybercab. And Tesla's Palantir is insane tech. Inside Tesla's internal AI, and why it works as a constantly evolving moat. Pick your rabbit hole. You can follow me on X at x.com/connectingodots. Until next time, I am connecting the dots, and you are amazing.